vizuri hapana na watu wote kama haya nyingi na ukiwalezea wataepa bado wenye kusema watasema watachoka bado wenye kusema watasema fanya na nguvu ndugu hey watasema watachoka tamana mgelela na watu wote watamgelela mpenzi wangu gelela na sikiafunda mgelela bado wenye kusema watasema fanya na nguvu ndugu hey watasema watachoka mambo bado wenye kusema wanasema fanya na nguvu ndugu hey watasema watachoka fanya na nguvu ndugu watasema watachoka wenye kusema wanasema fanya na nguvu ndugu watasema watachoka. Naam, na ndugu mtazamaji na msikilizaji, karibu kabisa ndani ya studio zetu hapa Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. My name is Imani Paura. I'm talking to you from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. And today we're going to be having a little discussion about what is going on. There is some message being circulating around Kiswahili language. And so I thought it was a good idea at least talk about it, so that people, you may know what is going on. So for that reason, that's why I want to be talking to you about the situation. So as I just said, my name is Imani Paura. I'm talking to you from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. I am a Swahili advocate for Africa, but I'm also African nationalist, or some people call Pan-African. So today I'm going to be talking to you about the message that come out about Kiswahili to be banned in Tanzania, and so that English can advance, and that has caused a lot of talking around, especially from outside of Tanzania. And in fact, some people are saying it's true, some people are saying it's not true. And also some people are saying it's good, some people are saying it's not good. So the message actually came out from the speaker person for the Ministry of Education in Tanzania. I believe is secondary education, which I think is Benjamin Ongonga. He said that Kiswahili will be banned in Tanzanian schools, and so that people can advance English. But also DW, Deutsche Welle, they also have say something about that. They wrote an article about it, which is the reason why people are talking about it. So now, without any further ado, why is this important and why are people talking? If you don't know much in Tanzania, people always look on Tanzania when it comes to Swahili. It's pretty much what you can call in Swahili wabeba bendera ama wabeba nuru, au wabeba watu wanaokaa kiti cha mbele kwenye mambo ya Kiswahili. So Tanzania is like that because obviously that's one of the things Tanzania is proud of. And me as a Swahili advocate, as I said, I advocate Swahili and Ethiopia to be included in school curriculum from primary school to universities. So when we hear some information like that, people are not have to talk, especially people in diaspora, Black people in America. They always insisted that we should have a common language for Africa or Africans in general, but also not only in America, even in Europe and everywhere. In fact, even Julius Malema, he talked about that. Yoweri Museveni Kaguta, the president of Uganda, His Excellent, Paul Kagame of Rwanda, lot of people, they do talk about we as African, we should not be able to communicate among ourselves by using Saman language, special colonial languages. So that is why is have agitated a lot of people. I don't know if you guys saw the speech or the Twitter of Professor Mumba, one of Pan-Africanist people that we have now. So now, what is going on? I tried to reach out a lot of people in Tanzania, people who are Swahili advocates, and I try to reach them out. So I may ask them, what is happening? What happened? And then they told me that people who were able to answer my call, they did not actually tell me exactly what's going on, because it seemed like they don't know. And people are not, you can hear something that is true or false. They are not saying this is false or not false. But what they say is that they don't know. They're not sure if this is fake or is true. So I called them and I asked them. Nobody were able to answer me. And for those who have a question regarding Swahili, by the way, there is one person you should ask. Anything has to do with Swahili, which is a Professor Mtembei Ardin. This is the man you should ask anything has to do with Swahili in Tanzania, but not only in Tanzania, but also I think when you talk about Swahili, even in other places in East Africa or in other areas, when it has to do with Swahili, is this person you should ask. And when it comes to other places, when it comes to America, if you want any question about Kiswahili, you should definitely check out Dr. Maulana Kalenga. Dr. Maulana Kalenga is a professor at California University. So if there's any question about Kiswahili in America, I mean outside of Africa, Dr. Maulana Kalenga is the one you should ask. Now, when it comes to Africa, Professor Mtembei is the one to ask. But I also call my fellow YouTubers who are in Tanzania and Kenya and ask them about that. But all of them, they seem like they are not clear where it is the misinterpretation or where it is the mistake. But I also was able to reach out to the people from DW Kiswahili, Sylvia Mehozi. She's a journalist from DW, and I asked her, and she said that that's not true, because even though the message was posted by DW English program, but the message is not true, because Kiswahili is not a language of instruction in Tanzania. So for that reason, there's no way they can ban Kiswahili as a language of instruction in Tanzania, while the Kiswahili still, it was not even the language of instruction to start with. So this is what she told me. So now, what is going on then? So I believe that there was misinterpretation or misdelivering the message between the DW journalists who translate the message possibly from Kiswahili to, because the message, what I understand, was given in Kiswahili and then was translated to English. So I think there is misinterpreting. But I also think that there is some agenda. It seems like that people in education in Tanzania, they are, instead to develop Kiswahili, they are trying to rush to English, I think, and something. We as the Swahili advocates, we don't want that. Why? Because we think that if once people can speak Swahili very well, many people in Africa, it will create jobs and opportunities more than people running to English and think they're gonna get opportunities. So not only English, but even French or Spanish. Now some of our African people, they are running to run Chinese. So we believe that the best way is actually to actually let people learn good Swahili and speak good Swahili to the extent that they are professional. so that they can teach other people who will want to learn Swahili. There is, I think, the market of Kiswahili, even now I'm talking to you, by the way, is more than the market of English. If someone speaks Swahili, there is a lot of intention that you can definitely be able to get a job to teach someone Kiswahili more than to the market you will get to teach someone English. So we want to encourage people, especially in Tanzania, to not give up their position, instead to keep pushing the Kiswahili, because that's why we come to here anyways. So in case if we, by lucky, I can say, what we are pushing here in Ethiopia, if that was true, so Ethiopia adopt Kiswahili to be taught in a school curriculum, to be included in a school system or curriculum here, that means we will need teachers, we will need writers, we will need people who can translate books from Kiswahili too, maybe, or who can establish school curriculums in different ways. So pretty much, I think Kiswahili should be, people should invest in Kiswahili more than investing in any other language. Some people, they still have this colonial mindset, by the way. All this is not caused by any other thing. It's a colonial mindset that everyone should be able to speak English or French. Of course, I'm speaking English, by the way. I also speak Spanish by lucky. But I don't think all Tanzanians or our children need to learn English. I think all our children, not only in Tanzania, but in Africa, they need to learn our language. And those who will be maybe in Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in diplomats, or translating, interpreting, those, they are possibly the ones who we should push towards English or French or any other language that is outside of Africa, even Chinese too, or Russian or Hindi, any language, Arabic, whatever language maybe has a big number of speakers, even Yoruba, for instance, or Igbo. We should push people to learn those languages. But I don't think that everyone should be able to learn those languages in basic education. So that is what we think, or that's what we believe. So being said that, we're still trying to see if that is the case, because we are not expecting that Tanzania will move to that direction. Instead, we think, or we're thinking that Tanzania will definitely actually use Swahili language as language of means of instruction. So it's two things that we are hoping, and two things that may be happening. So we are hoping that Tanzania will be the first country in the world to actually pass the Swahili language to be the language of instructions, rather than to actually ban or remove the Swahili language. That is what we are hoping. Now, someone raised a question that if Tanzania use English, more English will be developed. I don't think so. I have never seen one single country that is developed because of the using of colonial languages, or this any other language, and in fact not only colonial languages. So I don't agree with that. I absolutely don't agree with that. I think that the development of Tanzania will be based on how Tanzania protects the Swahili language, and also maybe use the natural resources that Tanzania have well, and using tourism, which also Tanzania have as well, but also the collaboration between Tanzania and the other countries, neighbor countries, which has always been very good. We should always appreciate for Tanzania. It has been good neighbor with the countries in area. And we want actually Tanzania to make little step to protect the Kiswahili language and to develop Kiswahili language as well. And not only that, even to put more money in Swahili language so that people those who study Kiswahili can possibly have opportunities, because it's very sad that we have a lot of people graduates in Kiswahili and they still not be able to have a jobs. So yeah, I think that's what you can possibly take out for this the whole thing. But I believe that personally that it's not what is said to be. I think maybe there is miscommunication, because I 100% have a lot of hope and trust in the president of Tanzania, Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan. She cannot do that. I definitely, in my belief, that because people from Zanzibar, we always trust them to do what is right when it comes to Kiswahili language. So we don't have any shaking when it comes to the future of Kiswahili, especially when Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan, she's the president of United Republic of Tanzania. So we know definitely, because she have been investing in Kiswahili, not only in Tanzania, but also outside of Tanzania. If I'm not mistaken, I think she put out more than $2 million US to develop Kiswahili in African Union. I'm not 100% sure, but don't quote me on this, please. But I have heard some rumor like that she have in her own pocket, not from the budget of the national Tanzanian nation, only designate to grow and to promote Kiswahili. So I don't think that Kiswahili would be banned in Tanzania, or there will be a major shift in Kiswahili, in the use of Kiswahili, especially in schools, because what you teach your children is what your children are going to be using. It's what your students going to be, children are going to be speaking. So, for instance, me as a Swahili advocate, I can tell you that in the 1940s, less than 1% of African could speak proper English. But look where we are now. So you can see that things have very, very changed roughly, because British Council, what sometimes they call those Commonwealth. I don't even know what is common in there. They have actually pushed the Kiswahili English to almost like to colonize everyone, in fact. So regardless, some people who has never lived motherland, which is Africa, they don't understand the importance of language. They don't. They only are hustling, or they only target jobs. Whereas those who get a chance to leave their own country and go outside of the country, they will understand the importance of language. And if you don't understand the importance of language, and possibly you speak, let me say you speak Kiswahili, and let's say all laptops that exist in Africa were in Kiswahili language, that will create big jobs. Or the reason why our trade between countries in Africa is so low is because we don't have a language to communicate with. Even in all these things of African continental free trade things, or whatever it is, this is not going to work until when we have a common language that we're going to communicate, because you cannot buy from someone that you cannot communicate with. Naamini kwamba hii inaeleweka. Ili hali na ndani sio swala kumiza kichwa, hata mtoto anaweza kuelewa kwamba kama huwezi kuzungumza ama kuwasiliana na mtu, huwezi kununua kitu kutoka kwake, wala hawezi kukuzia kitu. So na hiyo ni naweza kuamini kwamba Kiswahili ndio naweza kusema kwamba ni msingi, yani ni uti wa mgongo for all those things we are planning to do as Africans in general, black race, I mean. So Kiswahili have to be promoted, Kiswahili have to be protected, and Kiswahili have to be developed. Books need to be translated from different languages. Only now, most of market you can find the books. Even today, I was asking here in Addis Ababa books, Kiswahili books. You can find any book, and when you get a chance to find the Kiswahili book, they are in English most of the time. So no, why don't we have Kiswahili books to Portuguese? We know a big part of Mozambique or Msumbiji in Swahili, they speak Portuguese and Kiswahili. So why don't we have books like that? Why don't we have books in French and Kiswahili? Congolese, Burundians, and Rwandese, they do speak French. Some of them who happen to go to school, they may speak those languages. So why don't we have those languages? Why don't we have Arabic, Kiswahili books? Now we are looking into Amharic and Kiswahili books so that people can be motivated to learn Kiswahili languages. So anyways, I believe that we're gonna investigate a little further about the information, but also I want to highlight this. If DW have put false information there, we must follow up with them too, and maybe hold them accountable for that if they have put false information there. Now, if that's true, as Professor Rumumba he said, and other people said as well, that would be a very, very wrong move for Tanzania to ban Kiswahili instead to grow Kiswahili, because from Nyerere, Baba wa Taifa, President Nyerere, to every president in Tanzania, their job has been to protect and to develop Kiswahili language in Tanzania and outside of Tanzania. Every president have done their parts when it comes to Kiswahili. So that is one of the things that Tanzania has been doing very well, is to develop and to protect Kiswahili language, but also to develop and to protect other indigenous languages that are spoken in Tanzania. I hope you guys know that Tanzania does have more than 123 languages in Tanzania. Those are spoken by indigenous people or local languages. So anyways, I just want to come out and talk about this a little bit, and I will definitely follow up, and I will come back, maybe give you some feedback when I contact people who are in charge in those areas. But again, you guys, if you have any question, please, my number is down under this video on WhatsApp, and my email as well. You can definitely check on me. We need to ask people who are in those positions to tell us exactly what is going on with Kiswahili in Tanzania. I do appreciate for you to follow us, you guys. As I said, my name is Yohani Paulo Imani. I'm African nationalist, not a Pan-African. I don't like to use Pan-African, even though a lot of people understand that Pan-African. Pan is what? Well, Pan is Greek god, which look like goat. So I'm not a Pan-African, but I'm African nationalist, and I'm also a Swahili advocate. Mimi ni mtetezi, mdau, lakini mkereketu kwa lugha ya Kiswahili. Mimi ni mzalendo, mwana mapinduzi wa Afrika. So any further ado, I will just gonna say thank you so much for watching us, and leave your comments in the box there. If you have any question, I will be back after 2 days to tell you what we have investigated and found out. Have a nice weekend. Again, this was Swahili for Africa movement from here, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Kwaheri. Kenya nawe kumsana Tanzania Kinshasa Nairobi Mombasa Nairobi Mombasa kama gimana jonca kemana kemana yeo Nairobi Mombasa Nakuru Nairobi Harambe